love it. Thank you guys for being here. Y'all didn't come here to see me, but you did come to see the man. Ladies and gentlemen, you know him from ANC, Comic Book Man. He's done many other great projects. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ming Chen. Make some noise for him. I guess so. They didn't tell me anything, so I just thought this was so low.
I feel like I am a little kid. 5'4" power.
Right. I didn't even know I was doing this until like 15 seconds ago.
No,
So,
yeah, thank you guys for coming out, man. This is why I get so much crap, because Brian and Walls are non-stop ball busting.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's in the same program as guys.
Yeah, but it's just like, did anyone come to your pen? I'm like, yeah. I was like, these are the guys, man. They gave me so much crap, man.
Yeah, it is what it is.
And I'm assuming you guys all have seen Comic Book Man, so thank you guys very much.
Yes.
The big joke is, since it got canceled, like, they're still making fun of me. I don't get a paycheck at the end of it, though.
Right.
It sucks, man.
I remember that one episode of Comic Book Men where everybody was going to get a tattoo.
Yes.
And Wall decided at the last second he was
Punked out.
Yeah.
Punked out. Yeah, I should have known.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, you kind of had a feeling.
Let me tell you something about Walt Flanagan.
Go ahead.
I love the guy, right?
Right.
But if you know anything about Walt Flanagan, any Tom, Steve, Dave listeners out here, a couple out here, Walt hates everything. He hates everything.
Yeah.
But the weird thing is, when you have a friend who hates everything, you try that much more to impress him. Like, you want to hit that one thing where he's like, oh, that was cool. I was like, holy crap, I impressed a guy who hates everything. But in reality, like, the guy who hates everything, like, you shouldn't really honor his opinion, right? Because he hates everything.
Right.
You should just blow off. But Kevin's going on record going, the reason I wanted to become a good filmmaker and try harder was to impress Walt Flanagan. So, like Mallrats, like Brody's based on Walt Flanagan, with the little cup and everything, like that's Walt Flanagan.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but it's just like the guy who hates everything, we should just brush him off. Like, I don't care what you think, right? Right? But we do.
Right.
And so I tried so hard to impress that guy for no stupid reason at all.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think we have this tick or whatever?
Because when you do it, it's like, wow, I hit on something. Like the guy who hates everything.
Is it out for me? For me, it's always a mental thing. For me, it's like, do I really want to impress them, or do I just not want to argue? You know what I mean? It's like I try to,
I'm arguing with Walt no matter what.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what, it's arguing with Walt Flanagan. These guys are not qualified, right? So for instance, I don't know if you saw the local arts council.
Yeah.
They recently gave me an award.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it was called the Maverick Award, which I thought was cool. I was like, immediately you think of Top Gun, right? So,
right.
I was like, is Val Kilmer going to present it to me? They're like, no.
So it has an aviator on you took a picture of it.
Yeah. But, they emailed me like, hey, we're doing this gala and we want to give you this award. They sent me an email. I ignored it. And then they sent me 4 more. I ignored those. And the reason I ignored it was I thought it was spam. I thought it was spam. Like, who's giving me an award and why? It was so weird. And then finally, they're kind of like, listen, we're giving you an award. Do you want this thing or not? Because if you don't reply, we'll give it to somebody else.
Right.
And I was like, whoa, this is real. And I checked into it, and it was real. So it was cool because they gave Kevin an award too for he got excellence in the arts or something. I got a Maverick award. They kept hitting me though. They're like, hey, is he coming? I'm like, I don't know. Isn't that your job to find out? Like, it's your event. They're like, yeah, he hasn't really replied to us. Like, do you have his number? I'm like, well, yeah. But we talk, but. It's not like he replies right away, so, I'm not as insistent, right? So, I don't know.
They just look to you as the middleman.
Yeah. So it's the awards night, they're still like, is Kevin coming? I'm like, I assume so. And we were up on stage, and sure enough, the C's part, and he's there. And I was like, what a great guy, man. He came.
Awesome.
He came and he gave a really cool speech about, how the arts are good and how guys like him, he didn't want to work a real day job, so he went and did stuff in the arts and made movies, and it worked out. And he told a story about his dad used to work for the post office. His dad hated his job, and he dreaded going into work, and so he never wanted to be like that. And I was kind of like, well, you're the guy who taught me, like, I don't need to. I don't want to work a day job, so I just want to play video games and read comic books all day and go to Comic-Con. So far, so good.
Awesome. How are you enjoying Chattanooga so far?
I love it. Who's from Chattanooga here? Yeah, you guys got a great town here, man. Yeah, I got here about like 2 o'clock and went on like a med search for moon pies, which was cool. And I came down here and you know, saw the con, and they're like, hey man, you should stay till 8 p.m. Like, what's going on? They're like, extreme midget wrestling in the room next door to us. And
I'm down.
yeah, I wanted to go, but I ended up walking north and I went across the Walker Street Bridge because it just was so nice out yesterday. And and I rode the carousel. Like, I was like, it's $1 to get on the carousel. Like, I'll go. And I was by myself. But
then again, it's been $1 since like 1938 too. So
really?
Yeah.
Wow. So no inflation.
No inflation, apparently. No.
Nice.
Honestly, back then it was probably like a straw penny, maybe.
Like a buffalo nickel.
Yes.
But yeah, on my way back though, I'm like, I was about to just come back, and I hear this weird old dude belting out Bryan Adams. I hear Bryan Adams, and this weird, and I was like, is someone singing Bryan Adams? Like, it sounds like an old dude singing Bryan Adams.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I get to the bridge, and there's this old dude, and he's singing Bryan Adams at the top of his lungs.
Yep.
And I'm like, what's going on here? No microphone, nothing. He's yelling.
Yep.
Screaming, and some guy came over. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's James Abercrombie. He's here every night singing Bryan Adams till 2 in the morning." And I'm like, "I gotta talk to this guy, man." So yeah, I talked to him. He gave me a magazine. He's featured in an article in a local magazine. He was pre-signed, so I guess he's a legend around here. So he sang Bryan Adams. He went to REO Speedwagon, went to the Top Gun soundtrack. And then when he hit Journey, I'm like, I gotta sing with him. I gotta sing with him. So yeah, I went out and sang with him for a little bit.
That's awesome.
But I'm like, that guy gave me hope, man. You know, like, in all the bad in the world, all this conflict and everything, or even my stupid friends, like, making fun of me. I was like, here's a guy who doesn't give a shit.
Right.
He's just out here every night till 2 in the morning, like, doing karaoke, basically.
Yeah.
And, like, he's a legend. I'm like, that's cool. So that might be my retirement plan. Move to Chattanooga and sing off the Walker Street Bridge.
Hey, you might be able to put some good money.
Apparently, like, I gave him money, and apparently people tip him, so I gave him like $7. Like, I
Yeah.
had cash in my pocket. Apparently, on a good night, he makes like $300. That's for doing karaoke, basically on a bridge.
You're like, look, you find a way to make it work.
Yeah, I'll take my payment in moon pies though. I'm like, yeah,
Yes.
I just leave banana moon pies.
Yeah, well, yeah, because we got the actual moon pie manufacturing.
The factory?
Yeah, the factory is right there manufacturing.
Do they do tours?
I'm not 100% sure they
Oh,
do anymore.
man.
I know they did before the pandemic. But I'm not
Okay.
sure if they do it anymore. I have to look into that for you. But yeah, so.
Yeah, do you remember that episode of The Simpsons? That guy Jasper, he's like Grandpa's friend. He gets frozen in the Quickie Mart freezer, and he thaws out. And he comes out, and he thinks he's in the future.
Yeah.
And he's like, moon pies. What a world we live in now. I was like, this is awesome, man. So I'm in moon pie land.
Absolutely.
You know what's even better than moon pies?
What's that?
Moon pie moonshine. Yeah, which is a thing here.
Yes.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. Yeah, if you see little tipsy later, moon pie moonshine.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
It's probably definitely going to happen later on this evening, probably.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah, I'm leading a dive bar crawl
Yes.
tonight at 7:30. I think there's still spots open if anyone wants to come. Are you coming?
I'm coming.
Okay.
We'll be there.
Yeah, I guess they have a trolley pump driving us, so
Yeah.
so we don't have to like drink and drive.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be taking pictures.
Are you?
I'm not going to be drinking.
Okay, yeah, but this should be fun.
I'll let you guys have all the fun. I'll just take the pictures.
Okay. Oh man, there's blackmail photos. Yeah, for sure.
Well, there's a little bit. I'm kidding.
Yeah, are you from here?
Yes, I'm born and raised Chattanooga, Tennessee.
Wow.
I currently live about 15 minutes away in a small town called Boston.
Okay. Yeah, it's really cool. If you guys came last year, I talked to Ross Marquand
Yeah.
from The Walking Dead. I guess he was here last year.
Yeah, he was here last year.
And like if I go to a con and he's there, like it's automatic trouble. We go out, we find all the fun dive bars and karaoke, and then we're out till like 5 in the morning. But every morning at 10 o'clock we're at our table,
Right.
in whatever shape we're in,
Yeah.
but we're there. You know what that's called? It's called integrity.
Yeah.
It's called
Integrity.
It's called integrity.
Yes.
You go and party, but you gotta be, because we never want to be, we would go to cons and we'd see some of the troublemakers.
Yeah.
To roll in at like noon, 1 o'clock. I'm like, dude, this concert is 3 hours ago. You got a line, like their kids crying because they wanted to meet you and you're not here yet. We never want to be one of those guys.
Absolutely not.
But he was like, you're going to Chattanooga? Like, that con's awesome. Like, that town's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's like an Auckland. Auckland, New Zealand.
Oh, yeah.
There's a con there. Clearly he chose poorly. Yeah. Well, you should be here in Chattanooga.
He wants to go see Lord of the Rings. I'm sorry, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, Lord of the Rings.
I guess, yeah.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
Do we have any questions for me?
Yeah, anytime shoot your hand up, I'll answer anything. You, my friend.
I don't have a question, but I wanted to know if I don't know the movie, where the movie types out like you did somewhere in the
I've had it, somebody mailed some to the podcast studio, but he sent like a 6-pack and a Moon Pie t-shirt, and I drank it, and it was really good.
Yeah.
It was really good. Naked River? Thank you so much. All right, we got, fellow craft beer enthusiasts. Thank you very much.
The Chattanooga whiskey is, what is it off of, can't remember what street it's off of. I want to say it's off of Broad Market, I can't remember.
Yeah.
But it is, yes. Yeah, thank you. So it's Market Street.
So the Choo Choo is like a legit thing, it's not just a song.
No, it's a legit thing.
Oh,
It's a multiplex. There used to be a concert venue behind it,
Right.
Track 29.
Oh, yeah.
And then for whatever reason it got shut down. But there's plenty of cool things over there. The comedy catches over
Yeah.
there. And, I've been there a couple of times, did a couple of shows there. So.
Cool, man. All right, I'm in. Do you do stand-up?
I haven't done stand up in about a year.
Okay.
Just because I've been dedicated to doing the radio and trying to get that situation.
You can do both.
I can, you know.
I did stand-up for the first time about 8 months ago. I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico, and my friend Holly hosts an open mic there every Monday night, and I just happened to be there, and I was like, I think I'm gonna jump off tonight.
Right.
I think, why not? I'm in Albuquerque, like nobody knows me here, like if I bomb, and like the open mic, you can, you don't have to memorize your jokes, you can write them down on a notepad or on your phone and just kind of read them off that. And so that morning I came up with a bunch of jokes, and I went up and did it, and it's fun, man. It's fun, it's nerve-wracking. I wasn't great, but I wasn't terrible. It's on YouTube if you really get bored and you want to watch it. Just search Ming Chen first stand-up comedy. But my big joke was, listen, I'm in Albuquerque. If I suck, I'll just go back to Jersey, and you'll think I got killed by some meth head. Or you'll go back and you'll tell your friends, like, man, that guy who played short round came and did stand-up comedy. That guy sucked, man. Like, how did he win an Oscar? So that was my big joke. Yeah, after that it went downhill. Because I'm more used to like podcasting.
Yeah.
So your jokes are more of a slow burn. You kind of tell a story with a punchline. And stand-up, you gotta be a little quicker than that.
Stand-up's very interesting. Like when I first got into stand-up, shout out to Luke Martin, if you ever see the school. He told me basically, because here's the best way I can explain to you if you notice about people say.
Yeah.
If you think it's funny, it's funny. If nobody else thinks it's funny, just don't.
It's not funny.
You know.
Yeah, I wish that were true.
You know.
I wish that
Well, see, it's crazy because the very first time I was on stage.
If that were true, Mike Zapsik would be like Chris Rock.
Right. Well, the first time I got on stage and everything was cool. It was a packed house. It was cool. Granted, it was a packed house because one of the comedians brought like his entire family of like 700 people.
Yeah.
And it was great. Second time I went on stage, no, it wasn't because it wasn't that many people. And
Well, it's so hard because you don't know what the audience is into, right? It's all relative. Funny is relative.
Yeah.
So, one night you might kill, and then you take the same jokes in another place, and they're like, this isn't funny.
Well, that happened to me when I did the set at Comedy Catch, and I killed.
Yeah.
And then I went over to JJ's over off of MLK.
Yeah, over here, yeah.
Yeah, and I performed their open mic, and I bombed. Like, oh my god.
I guess, how inebriated was everybody? Because when you're drunk, everything's funny. Right? And that's why we started podcasting, because we would have these late night bar conversations.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, this is awesome. Why aren't we recording this? We should start a podcast.
Yeah.
Right? And then we were not funny. We were drunk.
Yeah.
You're drunk, you think everything's funny.
Yeah. So, I mean, some things are funnier when you're drunk.
Right.
And then you go back and listen to it, it's like, oh my god, I can't believe I just said that.
Yeah,
No, delete it, take it away from the internet.
Yeah, so the key is to be funny in both states, sober and funny. And that's why Kevin works out so well.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Smith movies are funny no matter what. Stoned, sober, drunk. Yeah.
How did you get connected to Kevin?
It was very easy. I made a fan website back in the 90s. I was learning how to build websites at the same time Clerks came out. And I just combined the two things that I loved and made a Clerks fan website.
Okay.
And one day he went to an internet cafe. Remember when emails existed. Maybe some of you kids out there don't remember these. It was internet by the hour. You would go and drink coffee and pay for like AOL by the hour. And
Everything's on dial-up.
yeah, you guys, all right, that guy remembers. But yeah, he pulled up the fan website I did, and he was like, "Oh, this is really good." So I had my email address at the bottom. He had his assistant email me going, "Hey, Kevin saw your site. He wants you to call him." And they put the number down there, and I reverse looked up the number. I was like, "This is a New Jersey area code. Like this might be real." And I was really excited. I was like, "Holy crap! Silent Bob talks first of all." And then Kevin Smith, like the guy who made my new favorite movie, wants to talk to me. And then it kind of dawned on me, like that website I built, I ripped off all this stuff like off of a laser disc. Like I legit just stole images and video files and stuff. And so I conveniently forgot about something called copyright law. And in my country that doesn't exist.
Right.
We bootleg everything.
Right.
But there was a part of me like, wait, maybe he's gonna tell me, like he's gonna prosecute me or send me a cease and desist or something. But when I called him, I was like, hello, he was like, hey man. I was like, great, sounds happy. This is good. And then he proceeded to tell me that he really liked what I did. Because I put on some like deleted scene complaints on that website, and like the lost ending where Dante gets killed, that nobody saw. He's like, if you didn't do that, no one would have seen it. So thank you. Like you helped me reach a wider audience. Would you like me to help me continue this? I want to reach a wider audience through the internet. He saw the light. Not the light, but he saw that the internet was going to be like a big thing in the 90s. So Kevin, for as much self-deprecation and that he gives himself, very forward thinker. So the internet, social media, he foresaw that. Like stars, celebrities interacting with their fans online. He saw that like years before like Twitter and Instagram and all that. Podcasting, he definitely saw that. And I don't know what the next big thing he'll get onto before. I think he tried NFTs for a while. I don't think that's going so well. So yeah,
Maybe AI, maybe.
AI, yeah, maybe AI James Silent Bob. I don't know if I can. Cause I always think like AI is almost anti-Jane Silent Bob.
Yeah.
I don't think an AI could ever come up with a Jane Silent Bob character like that, like he did.
No.
Yeah.
What did he say? Like, what was the influence behind that? Like,
Jane Silent Bob?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it was just Jay. He met Jason Mewes, and he was like, "This is the weirdest dude I've ever met." Like, yeah. I think you guys may have heard the story. They used to work at a recreation center, and they had like stand-up arcade games there.
Yeah.
And he said the first time he met Jason Mewes, he burst in the room and just started like sucking things off, like randomly. Like there was like a joystick, or there was like, I don't know, just anything phallic he would put his mouth on,
Oh my God.
with no prompting. Like he was no audio. He didn't even see that there were people in the room. He was just doing it for himself. And then he said he got to the asteroids machine, and there's no joystick there. It had the little roller ball, so they just kind of went down on it. Like, and all right. And since then he's like, I got to do, like, this guy's my friend now. That's how they befriended each other. And then he was like, if I ever write a movie, I'm gonna put that guy in it. And he did. And which is funny. Did you ever hear this story about Mallrats, where it was a bigger budget, and they were like, hey, this Jason Mewes guy is kind of a train wreck. We don't know we can put him into a $6 million budgeted movie. Like, this is serious. And so they made him audition for the role of Jay. They made him audition for his own role. Did you ever hear this story?
No, I've never heard.
Yeah, Universal made him audition for his own role, and then they were still unsure because he wasn't really an actor.
Right.
So they're like, hey, we're gonna have a bunch of guys as a backup on standby in case he doesn't work out. So they cast Seth Green as Jay, just in case Jay didn't work out.
Could you imagine if Jay didn't work out, what that would look like?
It would have been Seth Green from like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Robot Chicken. Like, it would have been Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
I would watch that version. It just wouldn't be the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be completely different. I'm not saying it wouldn't be funny or wouldn't, but
But they would have had him put in a wig and even Seth Green and Snoochie Boochies, man. I can't. Yeah. The guy from Can't Hardly Wait.
Right.
Like, Yes, God. Yeah.
Right.
So luckily it all worked out. And and Jay's a fine actor. He's great.
Like, when when you seen Clerks 3, it was like really, really, I was like,
Yeah, that's just what I love about Kevin. Like all the movies he makes, like it's like I've never seen a movie like this before. You know, Clerks, never saw a movie like that dialogue. And then if you move down to like Tusk and Yoga Hosers, those movies you've definitely never seen a movie like that with like little talking Nazis and yeah, and like Johnny Depp.
Yes.
Yeah, and a dude gets turned into a walrus.
yeah, Tusk was a weird movie.
Yeah.
Very weird.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys have heard, because Kevin quietly filmed his next movie without really telling anybody. I mean, if you keep up with it, or if you're part of the Kevin Smith Club, he just finished a movie called the 4:30 Movie. And if you also, he bought a movie theater about a year ago. So he shot the movie at the movie theater. Yeah, this is how smart this guy is. He buys a movie theater, and then he shoots a movie there, and then he can write off the movie theater as like a write-off.
Wow.
Yeah, it's cool. But what I love about it is he bought the movie theater that his dad used to take him to as a kid. So, and I always laugh because I think that the goal of any nerd out there, any geek, is you have three things you want to do as kind of a nerd. You want to make a movie that everybody likes. You want to buy a comic book shop, so he did those two. And then you want to buy a movie theater, and he did that too.
Yeah.
So he's like, yeah, he's the guy who like inspires all of us to make our dreams come true, right?
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
but the 4:30 movie is amazing.
Yeah.
I saw a 1 hour rough cut not that long ago, and it's a personal story. And anytime Kevin kind of reflects his life in the movies, Clarence Mallrats, Chasing Amy Dogma especially,
Right.
it's gold.
Yeah.
You know, we all know this, but yeah, this is one of those.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I got a part in it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
pretty
awesome. I can't wait to see it.
Yeah.
Do we have any more questions for me real quick? Go
Yeah.
right back here.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. Yeah, Kevin did I was Steve, I don't know, like a year ago or so, and he did one with Jason Mewes too. I'm waiting. Dude, I would love to podcast with Steve-O. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, forget Joe Rogan, man. I would rather listen. Yeah, I would rather listen to Steve-O, man, because he doesn't care. He'll ask like really good questions.
I watched the Joe Rogan episode that Kevin was on.
That was a good one. Yeah, it was
Really
good.
good. When he got to the part about where he, had the surgery.
Yep.
That was. It makes.
Yeah, didn't they like cry over their dogs and stuff too?
Yeah, I think it was one part.
In the 3 hours that they podcasted.
Yeah, it was a 3 hour long episode, and I think it was like that was pre-pandemic, so it was like 2018, 2019, I believe.
Yeah, I always thought they should give Kevin the $100 million contract at Spotify. Though, like, forget Joe Rogan, give it to Kevin, right? So, yes.
Okay, so I started watching college when we met you.
Yes.
So tell us the scene and how scripted it was.
Oh, okay,
All I
good.
know is,
Okay, it's behind the scenes of Comic Book Man.
Yes.
Okay, so a lot of people, and this is flattering, they're like, you guys are so funny, like, obviously it's scripted. I'm like, really? You thought it was that good? So, first off, if you ever known Brian Johnson at all, like, you can't tell him what to say. Meaning, like, you can't have him read a script and be like, right, this is what you're gonna say, like, we think this is funny. Like, no, I'm funny already, I'm not gonna read off a script. So this is how it worked. So the people who brought stuff in and wanted to buy stuff, we shot 3 of those a day. So those were set up ahead of time. Why? Because if we just sat there and waited for people to bring cool stuff in, it would have taken 8 months to shoot one episode, for a couple reasons. One, some days people come in and want to buy or sell something, some days like weeks go by and that doesn't happen. 2, when they do come in and bring in something, it's usually complete garbage. It's like waterlogged comics. It's something that's worthless, or it's like a Death of Superman. It's like, well, everyone's got this. Right. This isn't that interesting. So and the way they picked the people was they would go to stuff like Comic Cons like this, and they would find people who were buying or selling something cool. And they're like, hey, instead of selling it here, do you want to do it on TV instead with the guys from Comic Book guys, or do you want to bring it to Kevin Smith's shop and do it on TV instead?
Yeah.
So that part was good. Every morning we would kind of get a quick rundown of what was coming in. But the stuff they had coming in was geared towards stuff that they knew we liked. So I'm into 80s toys.
Right.
So they knew if someone brought in something G.I. Joe, like I would light up like a Christmas tree, because that's my childhood. Transformers, Thundercats, anything from the 80s. My other three friends are older, so anything 70s they would like. So Walt Lang was really into Planet of the Apes, Nego. Brian Johnson hates everything, but he did like Evel Knievel, so they got the Evel Knievel stunt cycle for him.
Yeah.
And then Mike was a kid in the 70s as well. So they would legit try to get stuff in that we would light up about. But once those people came in, it was a free for all. So they would edit it down to the funny parts.
What was one of the most expensive things that someone's ever brought in?
I mean, we smelled Action Comics #1. We did an episode where we went down to a museum that had it, and we asked the owners, like, dude, this is gonna sound really weird and maybe like kind of erotic, but can we smell Action Comics #1? And he let us do it.
Oh, wow.
It was a $2 million comic book.
$2 million.
But he was like, I get it, I smell my comics too. I'm like, well, yeah, you're rich though. You probably have all kinds of kinks too.
Right.
Smelling comics is not one of them. But he had a museum with every key issue. It was called the Jeffy's Entertainment Museum. So that's how it worked. But I think I think each season we would shoot like 90 of those, and we would only use half of them, about half of them. And either usually, they weren't all winners. Sometimes the people were a little dry, or they were just kind of deadpan, or maybe the thing they brought in ended up not being that interesting. So we would shoot way more than we needed. So again, I had real good editing, but only the really good ones made it there. But I'm actually kind of flattered people thought it was scripted, because there was no scripting. Now, did Nichelle Nichols happen to be in Red Bank, New Jersey that day looking for me? No. Did Stanley just happen to drive by?
Right.
Not exactly.
No.
But after that, I don't know. It was like, would anyone really care? I didn't think so.
Right.
Because I don't know if you saw the Nichelle Nichols episode. She came in looking for her own Regal doll. But the one thing we really wanted, we were like, hey, wouldn't it be cool if she kissed Brian Johnson to interact the very first interracial kiss in the history of television? And we were all nervous, like, well, how do we ask her? Like, what if she gets really offended and walks out, then we don't have an episode?
Oh, wow.
So we were real gentle. I was like, hey, Mr. Nichols, hey, this is Brian Johnson. He's a really nice guy, upstanding citizen. Little did she know. Would it be cool? You can say no, but would it be cool if you guys interacted the very first interracial kiss for the episode? And she was like, yeah, no problem. Like, okay, great. She didn't get offended.
Right.
But not only that, if you watch the episode, she kisses him, and she pulls away, and she leans in and kisses him again. And I was like, this is awesome. Like, this is great. We're gonna get another 3 seasons out of this, and we did. So yeah. So that part, that just I like that. Okay, so that's how. This is the genius of the show, because most of it's just us, right? Kevin was very busy, so he couldn't be there the whole time. So what we did, the stuff of us bringing stuff in or buying stuff, we would shoot that for 2 weeks. Then Kevin would come in to the podcast set, and it was cool because he really wasn't there. So he would literally sit down, and for 3 days he'd be like, well, what came in? Tell me the story about what came in. And we're like, all right, we would have a list of all the stuff that came in that week. He's like, all right, well, let's start off with when Nichelle Nichols came in. Let's tell them about that. And it was cool. It was, and I know the podcast thing was a set, but it was like we were podcasting with him, telling him what happened. And he would throw some quips and stuff. But yeah, he really didn't know because he wasn't there. So I thought it was a really good way to kind of get some more information and cut in between here and there. So, elaborate on what happened or what got brought in and all the funny stuff. And and I thought it was cool for him too, because he would get all the scoop of all the stuff, and cut together, I thought it made like a really good episode. If you watch any other reality show like Pawn Stars, normally what they would do was they would cut to a guy sitting in the parking lot, like his head, like, hey, I want to sell this gold brick to Rick and the guys. I want $10,000 for it. Let's see if I get it. And then they would cut back and either he would get 10 grand or not. They'd cut back to him talking, he's like, I wanted 10 grand, he gave me 5, I guess I'll take it.
That's not gonna do it.
And we were like, that's boring, man. Who cares, this guy in the parking lot? Like, we don't care. Kevin's like, why don't we do it as a podcast? Like, this reflects us in real life. We podcast around a poker table in the back of the comic book shop. Like, that's us. And we were like, that's a great idea. The only problem was the first season or so, people would be like, hey, what are you guys doing around that poker table? Like, why are you talking to microphones? Are you guys on the radio or something?
Right.
Like, no, we're podcasting. They're like, what's that?
Why is the room so dark?
Yeah, they're like, what's a podcast? So we had to explain the first year or so what a podcast was.
Yeah.
But then as podcasting became more popular, and then people knew automatically. But I'm pretty proud, as a anybody else have podcasts out here? There we go, man. All right. I'm pretty proud that if you look back in the timeline, I think we're the first. I'm pretty sure we're the first TV or movie or anything to depict podcasting in like a mass media format.
To my knowledge, yeah.
Yeah, now everybody does it.
Now,
I mean, geez, the freaking Ghostbusters is a character called Podcast, for God's sake. Yeah, now it's cool. But we did before it was cool, man.
Right.
Yeah, we were awesome.
Is that like the genius of Kevin Smith also?
It is. It really is.
What he thinks the direction of the industry.
Yeah, I don't know how he does it. He's always a step ahead of everybody else. So I listen to that guy for sure.
Absolutely.
So does that answer your question? Okay, cool. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it.
I watched it on YouTube, don't worry.
Oh yeah, no, I don't. Hey, watch it wherever. I don't care where you watch it. But hey, Bender just walked in. Yes. Yes.
So, like on that, two questions. So, one, like, I know they say you have to go out to facilities and things.
Yes.
But were there days y'all didn't know they were coming in, so like, we were involved, about that out. So how often do y'all know?
Yeah. So the celebrities, did we know we were coming in? Yeah, every one of them. They. I mean, I think they wanted to try to surprise us, but in the end, it's like, what's the point? Like, if you know they're coming, I guess you'll be a little more prepared. But I mean, they were so cool that the reactions were genuine. So Lou Ferrigno, obviously an icon. But man, yeah, we had some really cool people, and yeah, it was like in the moment it was cool, but it was afterwards where you reflect back, like, holy crap, Stan Lee came in twice. Like Stan Lee, came in twice. And then we had so many people. Sometimes I was like, oh yeah, like Rob Macho came in. Oh yeah. We have so many cool people. So, but yeah, Stan Lee was probably the biggest, like the one that was the most mind blowing. But like Adam West was also, really cool. Like we had him, and then he passed away maybe 6 months later.
Was he on the episode where you guys had like the old school Batman?
We raced the Batmobile against the Black Beauty.
Yeah.
And like who does that? Like, no one's ever done that. Like with him in attendance, like him in the car. That was pretty cool. But Lou Ferrigno was a great one, obviously. Anytime anyone from the old school Star Wars universe came in, like that blew my mind. So Peter Mayhew, like Chewbacca, was the first one. That was cool. And then later on, Billy D. Williams came in. And when Billy D. came in, I was like, all I wanted to do was repeat lines from the Colt 45 commercial. I was like, really do it? Like, I didn't know if he was over it or, he just kind of did that for a paycheck. But immediately he was like, what's every time? I was like, yes. Yeah, but he also did the, like, this deal keeps getting worse every time. And I'm like, yeah, like that's my childhood, man. And those are lines we repeat all the time. And now we have the guy, like the coolest guy in the galaxy repeating them. It was pretty cool. So yeah, I think we were never like sprung on anything. So what was your second question?
How much trouble did you get in home for some of the stuff you buy?
Oh, how much trouble they get for buying stuff? Oh, I still get in trouble, dude. So yeah, that was cool. Like I bought like the G.I. Joe aircraft carrier. I'm like, dude, where are you gonna put this thing? Like it's a 7-foot aircraft carrier. It's as long as this table. Where are you gonna put this thing? But it's funny you bring that up. I was just at New York Comic Con a week ago, And every time I go there, like, don't buy anything. I don't need anything, don't buy anything. And of course I came back with this huge bag of stuff. And I remember I rolled in and I'm like, honey, I'm home. And I dropped the bag in the living room. She's like, no. No. She's like, no, get that out of here. Get that out of here. It's like, what is that? What is that? It's like, that's a Hasbro Force Effects Mandalorian Darksaber. What do you mean, what is that? Yeah, that, I got like 10 New York Comic Con exclusive Funko Pop figures in here. I got gold in here, but yeah, I get a lot of crap, man. Because you guys are all collectors. There's never enough room. There's never enough room. If you have enough room, that means you have more room to buy more stuff. It never ends, man. And like, come like Funko or Hasbro, they keep coming out with stuff. And I know the trend now is to make it even bigger now. So yeah, I have no room, man. But like and as a collector, it's funny. Some of the stuff you don't even open for months. You buy it and it sits there, and you have the satisfaction of knowing you own it. But some of the stuff you never even opened for years on end, and it's a sickness. But
it kind of reminds me of like going like watching stores wars
Yeah.
shows, and then they go in and they find like, oh, this is R2D2 like 1979.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we should get this checked out. And they take it to whoever, and they're like, maybe 120.
Yeah.
Like 120 for this action figure that was like, I don't know, maybe $15, $16.
Yeah.
Like that's insane.
So now, because I blew up a lot of my G.I. Joes back in the day, and now I regret it. So now, we know to keep everything in the packaging, and just in case, you never know. But but spouses in general hate it. So I catch a lot of crap. But I'm like, just you wait. Like, when you retire to an island of this blue chrome Batman from San Diego Comic-Con, man. One day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Yes. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, card breaks, drafts. Yeah. Yeah, he wore it over. Was Post Malone the one that wore the one around his neck?
No, that was Logan Paul.
I was Logan Paul. Sorry, how do I confuse those two? I'm old, man.
Yes.
I'm old.
He
Yeah.
wore it to the ring at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And I was like, why are you doing this, man?
I love those two because they're nerds, but like it's almost cheating, right? They have an unlimited budget for this stuff, right? It's kind of cheating, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's a great feeling, right? Yeah, comics, this is why we collect things, you never know.
It's like
never
scratch
know.
off, in a sense,
Yeah, recently they came out with the Jane Silent reboot card set, Upper Deck, and so there are Ming Chen cards out there, and Mike said they put the comic book in there because we were in the movie. So they sent me a box, so I did the card break. I was like, come on, where's my Ming Chen? Like, why am I getting all these wall planners? And Mike said, these are worthless comic cards. Where's that Ming Chen? And finally, I pulled my own card.
I think they did that just to mess with
They probably did. Yeah, but I did. I finally pulled my card, and I know it was cool, man.
Right.
It was cool. I hate to brag, but I don't.
No,
I'm part of it. Like,
don't.
Upper Deck is a legit company, so that was pretty cool.
That is awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Any more questions, real quick?
Yes, my favorite thing to collect. Now it's kind of become like if I see it, like I know it when I see it, right? So like that Darksaber, like I've been looking for that thing for a while. And I could have bought it on Amazon, but I wanted to find it at a con, do the whole thing where I talk the guy down and haggle for it. And not only that, I didn't want to wait for it, so I wanted it in my hand now, even though I haven't opened it yet. Like I want to do a legit, like a proper unboxing and everything.
Yeah.
But you know, I have to wait for when I have time, and I never have time. I still like exclusive Funkos. I really like, especially if I can get them at their original $15 price before they skyrocket up to, whatever. Yeah, those are the two big things. Vintage G.I. Joe figures from the 80s. I collect those a lot. Because I'm just trying to buy back my childhood. But yeah, now like there's so much cool stuff out there that I mean, it's almost ridiculous. Even there's a guy out there selling lightsabers, and they're really nice. I'm like, do I need all of these? I collect a lot of lightsabers though, just because they're exact replicas. Like they probably look better than the original ones that they used in the movies.
Yeah.
So those were just cobbled together with like flash handles and like windshield wipers, stuff like that. Now they can actually like make legit molds and everything and cast all that stuff. So.
Now people using actual like glasses and everything.
Yeah.
Holding it around. It's like, don't get rid of that.
Yeah, even stuff like they'll do like replica props now that are really, really awesome. I think one of the last things I bought was from Jurassic Park. They have John Hammond's like the top of his cane, the amber top with the mosquito in it. Like they came out with that, and I was like $20, sure, why not? Like what a great, yeah. I spared no expense on that collectible. I'm like, yeah, life found a way for me to get that collectible. So I mean, like all the stuff they make now is so high end and high level now that yeah, it's tough. So and the price ranges are all over the map. So that Amber thing that was $20, but then you might have like a $500 replica prop. Like, oh man, I need that. No, I don't. I still do. Yeah, but yeah, it's great being a collector now, but it's hard on the wallet. Like I need to get back on TV, man.
Yeah.
Like I need that TV.
Well, I was going to ask you what any projects that you're working on.
Right now my life is Comic-Cons on the weekends. Like I try to go to a different con every weekend. Like there are enough out there, and it's cool that I get usually I get invited, so that's cool. I love seeing cool towns like Chattanooga, so it's not just the con itself. On the weekdays, I help people launch or record podcasts. I start a company where I build studios that run out by the hour. And then that 4:30 movie, Kevin put me in it, I get a bit part in that, so that was cool. But yeah, other than that, man, I don't know. I mean, there are a couple of people have approached me. It was like, hey, you go to all these cons, like you should do a TV show where you go to conventions and document your time out there and everything like that. I would love to do that.
Absolutely.
Like the geek Anthony Bourdain. Like that's probably that's the dream, right? And sadly he's no longer with us. So there's kind of like a void almost. There's a really Anthony Bourdain out there.
I'm sure some channel or streaming service would pick it up.
Yeah, I know. I need someone to just follow me with a camera and some audio gear so we get good sound. But or do I? I don't know. Sometimes I'm drunk at the country. But that's entertaining, I guess, right?
Exactly.
They seeing me make a fool out of myself. It worked the first time,
Right.
On comic book, so
Yeah.
why not keep it going?
Yeah, just keep it going.
Yeah.
Do what you're good at, right?
Yeah, for sure. But anybody here been to Dragon Con? So you know how chaotic and crazy it is, right? Like my dream scenario would be to bring Walt Flanagan to Dragon Con and see him flip out. So I don't. Yeah, but I don't think he can handle that environment. Like everything that happens at Dragon Con is like it's everything he hates about life. Large crowds, drunken people, people in cosplay, and people having a good time. Those are 4 things he hates. I'd love to see him in that environment. Yeah. One day we'll get that going. One day. For sure. So. All right, cool. Anybody else?
Anybody else real quick?
Yeah, go ahead, Fred. Do I have the original G.I. Joe Storm Shadow? Yes, I do. I have it. All the accessories, the backpack with the swords and the bow and arrow. I do. I have one of those, and I have a Storm Shadow. Storm Shadow, and a Snake Eyes too. I got Snake Eyes too. Storm Shadow, one of my favorite characters. Yes. Great question, man. Great question.
So
I'm always on the lookout for more, though. I don't have one in its original packaging. That's the one I'm looking for. That was expensive, but yeah, for sure.
So we got.
Dude, thanks for sitting down.
Hey, thanks for letting me sit down with you. Bro.
Yeah, plug up Movement Radio. Tell everyone about Movement Radio.
Just let everybody know we are recording this panel right here, and it is going to be available on our YouTube YouTube channel, Movement Radio. We also have our Instagram, our Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. We got all our social media. We're actually right out here. Come by, hang out with us. We're gonna be at our table. If you see us, or if you wear cosplay, we'll be taking pictures of you. We'll be recording throughout the entire day. We'll be hanging out with this guy tonight. It's gonna be a pretty fun time. And also movementradio.us is our website. If you guys want to check us out there. Again, thank you for having me up here to, I guess, MC this thing for you.
It would have been me up here with, you like comics? Yeah, thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys so much.
Stay tuned for the next panel, whatever that is. I'll be back here at 3 o'clock moderating the Emily Swallow Mandalorian Armor. This is the way panel, although we can't really talk about Mandalorian, but I got some good stuff.
Awesome.
Thank you guys so much. Thank you. Chattanooga, I love you. You guys are awesome.